It is snowing. I feel like poo, but we're going to get through this video as quickly as we possibly can. So let's talk about every book I read in 2023. Hello, book friends. It's Alyssa. Welcome back to the channel. It is time for me to go through every book I read in 2023 and tell you if it is worth your time, in my humble opinion. Most people do this as like tier ranking videos. I can't be bothered to put all 200 and something titles that I read in the year into whatever program they use to do the tier ranking. So instead, we're going to just flip through my bookly month by month, and I'm going to tell you if the book is worth your time or not, as quickly as I possibly can. I think I did this for the first time last year, and it was crazy, and I feel like it's crazy this year too, but we're gonna do it. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything is fine. Everybody calm down. Everything is fine. But first, we're gonna go through a few quick stats from Storygraph. I read 229 books last year, which was 76,790 pages or thereabouts. I don't think the page counts are that accurate because they're different on Bookly, but anyway, it's about that much. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's not 230 simply because I would have liked a round number, but I was not going to rush and do it. It's fine. I'm not that crazy. My top genres for the year are really no surprise. Literary fiction takes the top of the pile. Fantasy, of course, is right after that, quickly followed by queer lit, historical, and then contemporary. My longest book was my bind up of Lord of the Rings at 1,137 pages, and my shortest book was A Few Figs from the Thistle. It was just a collection of poems from Adina St. Vincent Millay, and my average rating from 2023 was 3.62, which is not terrible. Could be better, could be worse. That's fine. I had some winners, I had some losers. That is fine by me. Let's just jump into this because this is going to take all day and I feel like garbage. So let's, all right. I don't think this is going to start with exactly like what I read in the beginning or what anything like that, but we're going to start with January because I do section out my bookly by month. We'll start right here with Briefly a Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. Honestly, skip it. Fantastic concept, but didn't really do it for me. I still love Ninth House. I know that not everybody does. I reread this in preparation for reading Hellbent and then never read Hellbent. Greek Lessons, I'm going to say read it simply because Han Kang is wonderful and this is just brilliant writing. It's quiet. I've read it twice. 2 years, 8 months, and 28 Nights is the only Salman Rushdie I've ever read. It was good. It was surreal. It was weird. I need to read more Rushdie, but I'm scared. So sure, go for it. A Lust for Blood. No, you can skip this unless you really want to read like the first in a vampire romance, but Belle Green, please read this. This is just read this. This is a wonderful, wonderful story about Belle Green, who managed JP Morgan's library and was passing as white, and it's just so phenomenal story. Also, the translator is a wonderful woman, Dina Cover. You're wonderful. Wolf Hall, Hilary Mantel. I guess it's fine. Like, my problem is that I've spent so much time with like Henry VIII, his wives, and this whole story, all the cast of characters in A Man for All Season, etc., 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 that like it wasn't. It was fine. I still have to continue on. Sure, read it. Bliss Montage, Ling Ma. I love these short stories. I think about the person that was like buried in the sand, often the woman with many boyfriends. I say read it. Bola, read it. There's a review for this. Love this. Seven Moons of Molly Almeida. I don't think you need to read this. Just skip it. Midnight Riot was fun. I've read the first two in this series, I think. It's a jaunty romp through London with like mystery, murder, and magic. And I think this guy wrote for Doctor Who. Anyway, yes, I say yes to this. It's funny. Strega is all vibes, but I also don't remember anything about it, so probably pass. The God of Small Things, please read this. I think this is phenomenal. The Enigma of Room 622, yes, read this. This was a great, great mystery. I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness. Fantastic title. I think I was bored of millennial, like Malays fiction at that point. Black Paradox was not my favorite Junji Ito, so you can probably skip that. Moon Over Soho is another one in that mystery series. I just read it. It's fun if you want like a fun fantasy mystery thing. Do that. The Life of the Mind. I think I liked this one. Sure, read this. I barely remember this one. Boulder, read it. Under the Earth and Over the Sky. Read it. How have you not read it yet? I talk about it all the time. Eileen, not my favorite mosh bag. I'm glad this was not my entry mosh bag because I don't know if I would have continued, but it's fine. I still need to see the movie. I say read it because we love mosh bag. We stand Otessa. Otessa is our queen. Read it. On to February. All the Living and the Dead. This was a really interesting it's not a collection, but it's a nonfiction that covers different areas of things that touch death, like police examiners, medical examiners, people who bury you, all different kinds of things that interact with death, executioners and bombers, all these people. Fascinating, love it. If you like that kind of stuff, read it. The Winter of Our Discontent, which is not clear in this picture, but The Winter of Our Discontent is, you know what? This Steinbeck, I don't know if you really need to read it. It felt weird. There's better Steinbecks. But if you really like want to round out all your Steinbeck reading, do it. But if you just want to read like the highlights, like the good ones, the highlight reel, don't read this one. Gravity's Rainbow. Do it if you want, but it's not going to change your life. Mr. Kato Plays Family. I don't think I've ever talked about this book, so no, because there's a reason I don't talk about it. The Whalebone Theater was meh for me, so maybe if you're really into historical fiction, go for it. But at the end of the day, I pass. Everything Elizabeth Strout, no. Oh, William was like the worst book I've ever. No, stop, no. In Dying Starlight, Planet Fall. I've read a couple of these. Yes, this is a great sci-fi novella series by an indie author. I love it. I think it's humorous. Is it perfect? No, but Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson. I'm gonna say that I'm going to not answer this one simply because I think I need to reread it. My initial thought is pass. It's really not all it's cracked up to be, but I will admit that maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, so I will read this again. So jury's out. Oh, I forgot I read Victory City. I actually really liked Victory City. I think it's better than the 2 days, 8 weeks, whatever, that one. Much more straightforward. There's another book in here that I read this year that has the same myth and poem that it's drawing off of, that I think does it better than Victory City, but I liked Victory City. This was good. More in Dying Starlight, yes. Letters from Hades is written by my friend, so if you want to read some poems written by a friend of mine, yes. Memphis, I have blocked this book out because the beginning premise of it really bothered me, so I'm going to say no, but I know a lot of people really liked Memphis, but I'm going to say no because no. The Snow Child, no. More in Dying Starlight, yes. My Phantoms, yes. Still Life, I found boring, but it's just, I'm so tired of World War II historical fictions. No from me. I know other people love it. No from me. Bad Creek, yes. The New Life, yes. When We Lose Our Heads, yes. Yes, yes. This is so good. Please read this. Fingersmith, always. Sarah Waters, yes. On the Savage Side was not as good as Betty. Like, you could probably skip this, but I liked it, so I'm gonna say yes. But like, Between Us Besties, you could probably skip it. On to March. Yes, The Fire Next Time. Read it now. My Pen is the Wing of a Bird. Read it now. Cursed Cocktails. Absolutely not. Dead Silence. You can skip it. Yeah, skip the choice. I did not like this series from Nora Roberts. I read Roberts. I don't know what that. Why did I become from Boston? I read this to try my first Nora Roberts out, and I did not. It didn't need to be this long. I didn't. Burial Rites. Yes, 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 and one more yes. Please read this. Book Eaters. You can probably skip it, but I will probably read the second one because I do need to know what happens. Liberation Day. This is gonna shock at least one person, but I say read it. I know I didn't like Lincoln the Bardo, but I like this little collection. This Saunders guy. This collection was good. Foster, yes. Galatea. I feel like this was only published because it's like 80 pages. This was only published because of the success of Song of Achilles. And I feel like it could have been left as like kind of a draft and then later reworked into a bigger, better story. The bones are okay, but in general, I feel like as this little novella, it's not enough. I do not like Demon Copperhead, so it's a no for me. 100 Years of Solitude, I think everybody needs to read this multiple times in their life because it's crazy and batshit and beautiful and just wonderful and complex, and read it. One Moonlit Night, yes, read this. You don't need to read Alone with You in the Ether. Have a read for this. I have problems with it. Knives, whatever. The Chicken Book, read this. Read this. You can probably skip Age of Vice. I thought it was going to be better. Yes, Maps of Our Spectacular Body. No, A System So Magnificent It's Blinding. No, please, no. The Minuscule Mansion, Myra Malone. Yes, just yes. I DNF'd this, so no. Freshwater, yes. A Quick Game Ezzy is always a yes. The Rabbit Hutch, you could probably skip that. I mean, it was fine, but life's short. Pyre, I liked this, so I say read it, but The Seep, yes, 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 and more yes. The Prettiest Star, also yes, please read this. Say Nothing, if you want to know more about like the IRA in Northern Ireland, yes. If you could care less, skip. The Spite House, I'm going to say yes. I think this is an interesting little horror book. Our Missing Hearts, maybe? I was surprised by how good it was based on the fact that it's commercial fiction, and I don't always like commercial fiction, but this was kind of good. So maybe. Always yes. 19 Claws and a Blackbird, loved this collection of short stories. I need to reread them, actually. I might do that this year. On to April. No, I DNF'd this. Ice, yes. Paris Memoir, yes. I do not know. Oh, this book was a trip. And On Kindness of Ghosts, yes, but like not as strong yes. To Strip the Flesh, no. The first, like the titular, the first manga in this collection of manga short stories, great. And then everything else is kind of filler, and I don't really like it. The Dark Days Club, yes, if you like Regency romance and you like mystery and you like fantasy. I need to keep going with this. I'm going to say skip Cursed Bread, but this is only because Sophie McIntosh and I just don't get on. This is my second Sophie McIntosh, and I just feel like there's something always lacking. Like I'm expecting something that never arrives. Hell Followed With Us, yes. A Day of Fallen Night, I really liked, so I'm gonna say yes. I know it's not for everybody, but I'm gonna say yes. Oh, yes, T. Kingfisher, especially this one. This one's funny and dark, and when they're like underground, ooh, the teeth. Yes, House with Good Bones. Feed Them with Silence, I say skip, because I just couldn't get into this story. Always Tell Me I'm Worthless, please. This is kind of like the Patrick Radden-Keefe, the Say Nothing. If you want a very basic understanding of cellular history and the science behind cellular biology, it's really good. But if you could care less, skip it. Yes, of Cattle and Men. I wasn't like sold on this book when I first read it, simply because like the writing was phenomenal, but I just felt like something was lacking. But now I spent more time looking back on the text and working on it in looking at it in connection with something else that I want to do a video on. Yes, please read this. This is very good. A Rover Story is cute. If you need a cute book, yes. Same with The Moth Keeper. I read all K. O'Neill's graphic novels. They're beautiful. Whose Names Are Unknown? Yes, this year one of the things I have planned is to do a reread of this and then do a read of Grapes of Wrath, so we can compare them to and talk about it, because this is sometimes referred to as the book that Grapes of Wrath ripped off. A Psalm for the Wild Built, beautiful. My first Becky Chambers, loved this. The Colony, loved it. Phenomenal. Yes. Pandora's Jar, if you want more of like a feminist look at Greek myth and the women of Greek myths, yes. Ghost in the Throat, yes. Sister Maiden Monster, maybe. I have heard some people's reviews that make me question whether or not I should go back and reread this. So maybe. But I also kind of felt a little, I may have also not been in the mood for like a pandemic-y kind of book at the time. Magic for Liars is no, simply because I loved the premise, but it didn't deliver. Unconquerable Sun, Kate Elliott. I read this in the second one. That's going to depend on how much you like sci-fi that is based on like historical things and is incredibly dense. Maybe. What comes after April? May! Jude the Obscure. Yes. But that's just because I will always say yes. Every Thomas Hardy, I feel like Thomas Hardy knows how to write a just sad book. Exalted, yes. This book is so much fun. Don't listen to the audiobook though. It's terrible. Springs Arcana, skip. Lord of the Rings, sure. Crime and Punishment, I mean, sure, but I was ultimately disappointed. Mayfly, yes. Hester, yes. Trespasses, I'm gonna say yes, only because I feel like the reasons I don't like this book are things the author was doing very intentionally, but I didn't care about this book, but I think other people will like it, so yes. The Salt Grows Heavy, no, I didn't really like this. Post-traumatic, no. A Stoner, yes. After Sappho, I'm gonna say no. The Hollow Places, yes. Oryx and Crake, yes. The Utterly Uninteresting and Unadventurous Tales of Fred the Vampire, yes, I forgot about this book. Yes, it's a collection of like little short stories about Fred, and he's not a very adventurous vampire. He's just an accountant. He's very boring, but they're fantastic. I did DNF Terraformers, so obviously no. I really liked Yellowface, so I'm gonna say yes. The Red Balcony, I DNF'd, so no. Pinata, I'm gonna say no because I think there's a book later that is better. I think this could have been darker, but I think it's also YA, so I think that's why I felt like this. Stoneblind, I DNF'd. I really need my Medusa book to center Medusa. Scorched Grace, yes, I did enjoy this. Dearest Centurion, yes, so good. And now we're on to June. We're trucking. Death in Venice, yes, please read this just so we can talk about it. Juno loves legs. Juno loves legs. I can't speak. Yes. Centaur and Sensibility. Shockingly, no. Death Note 3. I'm still trying to get through Death Note. I mean, if you like manga, sure. This Gilded Abyss by Rebecca Thorne. Yes, 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 yes. You're gonna get your heart broken. This is the second in that Kate Elliott series. So yes, if you like really dense sci-fi. No, if that's not your jam. Shantaram, just, it's too much. No, there are more things. Yes, I really liked this. White Horse, I think you can skip. I think Bad Cree would be better. I'm very curious to see what the author's going to write next, though. There were like a lot of good things in it, but ultimately it just didn't, there was like a oomph that was missing for me. So next. I'm going to say no on Fourth Way. The Milky Way. No, this was not the book that I thought it was going to be. Nevada, despite being billed as a road trip book that never centers a road trip, yes, I think this was really, really well done, and the afterwards is interesting as well. The House Witch, yes, I need to keep going with this. Nice little cozy little fantasy. It's snowing outside today. It would be the perfect book to curl up with. Check out 19. No, just no. Case Study, I'm gonna say no, only because ultimately I don't think this book is like fantastic, but yes, if you just want to like read a really engagingly wacko story. So maybe. Into the Drowning Deep, yes, we love Murderous Mermaids. The Saturday Night Ghost Club, the Saturday Night Ghost Club. Yes, yes to this. This book was surprisingly good. And then of course, A Little Luck, yes. On to July. Wayward, yes, read this. You want a good witchy feminist book? Read this. Letters to a Young Poet. I mean, yes, this is like a must read for everybody, always, especially if you're creative. The Magician. So if you've read Death in Venice and you are starting to want to know more about Thomas Mann, yes, read this. This was very interesting. Taproot, love this graphic novel. Yes, read this. And the artwork is beautiful. I loved it. Manhunt, I see skip. I couldn't. Oh, I got so tired of hearing about like eating people's penises like they're meat. Ugh. Sometimes I like a good violent book, and then sometimes the way it's done, I'm just kind of like, ugh, this again. The Marriage Portrait, I actually like this, so I say yes. Morbidly Yours, love this, and I think it's getting picked up by a publisher. So if you want like a nice little rom-com, this was good. Chain Gang. I'm gonna say maybe because I think I need to reread this. I listened to it predominantly. I think I need to read it with my eyeballs. I was not, there's too many characters. Love the premise, love the brief. Wasn't connecting as an audiobook, so I may need to read this with my eyeballs. No to Horse. Night Shift. I'm gonna say no. Even though I did enjoy this, I just don't think it's the best of the sort of like sad girl coming of age quarter life crisis books. Okay, K, which I'm probably saying wrong again. Yes, this is phenomenal. Great fantasy novel. Self-Care, skip it. It was fun, but skip it. The Warden, yes, and I cannot wait for the next book to come out. This is a fun fantasy. Take My Hand, yes. That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, absolutely not. I don't know why this has such a cult following. This was like the least chemistry I've ever seen in a romance novel. Lord help me. Please don't read The Story of the Eye unless somebody makes you. Don't read it. Daughters of Smoke and Fire, yes. I DNF'd this. This was terrible. Wandering Souls, yes. Shy, yes. My first Max Porter, loved it. And then I guess we're on to August. Let's go to August, baby. This is getting unhinged the longer I'm doing this video. Hungry Ghosts. I did DNF. I just couldn't connect in the beginning, and I was so tired that on Sunswelling. I think you can skip this, but I did enjoy it. It just, in general, I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't standout, but it was fine. There's a review if you want my feelings, but you can skip this. The House of Doors, read this. Jane the Fox and Me, cute. Yes. Great Lessons, again, yes. Skip a Spell of Good Things. Earth Eater, yes, read this. Old God's Time, I loved this. Yes. This Other Eden. Oh, I feel like this could have been so good, but no. I would look up the island this is about and read like actual nonfiction about it over this book. Western Lane, I say yes. I think this would be good. If I Survive You, maybe if you're in the mood for vaguely interconnected short stories, but I am interested to see what he does next. Rachel Incident, yes. When the Reckoning Comes, yes. Pearl, yes. In Ascension, no. Monster, A Fan's Dilemma, yes. How to Build a Boat, no. The Warden, no, but I also think this is the wrong place for me to have started with Trollop. I've got The Way We Are Now, whatever one that is, I got that one, so maybe we can start there. But this was the wrong place to start with my Trollop journey. This was, no. The Jasad Air, no. I don't know, it's just, no. All the Little Birds, Bird Hearts, I like this, so yes. I'm Homeless, If This Is Not My Home, yes, this was my first Lori Moore, and I really did enjoy it. Thornhedge, yes. The Bee Sting, yes. Night's Edge, yes, and I can't wait for the next one. Brutes, I do need to maybe reread this. I think this got I think my brain was too burnt out from Booker to appreciate this, so I'm gonna reserve this with housekeeping as a maybe. Off With Her Head, yeah, I really like this. If you want just kind of a overview of how the patriarchy sucks and has sucked for hundreds of years, great. And could be a good jumping off point to go deeper into different things. Yeah, so that's, yeah, on to September. Suffer the Children, sometimes, just no. Manic Pixie Girl, no. Surviving the Sky, yes. Red Rising, no. The Guest, no. From Persephone with Love is also from my friend Emily, and yes. Obsessive Intrusive Magical Thinking, yes. Especially if you have like a neurodivergent brain, I think you might find that interesting. Darker Shade of Magic, this whole trilogy, yes. You know how I feel about Prophet Song. Do we need to talk about it? I did DNF The Witch King, so obviously no. Yep. Wifedom, yes. Though apparently there's some question about the validity of some of the things that were talked about in this, so can't wait to see how this pans out in like a couple of years. Anyway, Study for Obedience, yes. The Quiet Tenant, no. It was missing something. Oh, okay. October. The final quarter. The Will of the Many, yes. I really like this. This is what Red Rising. This is what Red Rising I think, thought they were doing with all of the references to different mythologies and things. And this was just done well. Yes, I can't wait to see what happens next. And the ending, oh, and some of these twists. Ooh, so good. High Time. This was fun. If you just want like a fun read, like you were on a plane, you want a fun read where some rich people get their butts handed to them or some jerks get their butts handed to them, yes. The Woman in White, I did really like this. It is excessively long though, but I liked it. So yes. Bookshops and Bone Dust, yes. Zom 100 is a manga series that I am sort of in the middle of. I think I'm 3 volumes in, and I'm enjoying this, but it's also one of those manga series where it's like really sexual, or like there's a lot of sexualization of women for very little reason, but like there's too many like random sex scenes. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. I'm fine with it. So I mean, maybe if that's your jam, if you want like a post-apocalyptic zombie world manga where it's horny young men trying to escape zombies. Women Without Shame, Woman Without Shame. Yes, please read this collection of poetry. Brainworms, I'm gonna say maybe, and it's really gonna depend on what you can tolerate. Go look at trigger warnings. Still, Study for Obedience, I did reread it again in October, so yes. Natural Beauty, yes. The Shadow Cabinet, yes, but here's my caveat. I'm gonna say wait till the 3rd book is out this year and then do them all back to back, which is what I'm going to have to do because there's just so much going on. It is hard to keep it all straight, especially when I didn't reread the first book. I didn't reread Her Majesty's Royal Coven before reading this. So it took a while for me to remember everything. And there's a lot of characters and a lot of politics and a lot of things going on. So I would say yes, but wait till you have the completed trilogy. Death Valley, yes. Golden Sun, no. On to November. November was a bad month. How does it feel? No. It feels like a no. Zom, still maybe. Morning Star, no. Pretty Boys Are Poisonous, no. Yes, My Pen is a Winged Bird, still. Night Watch, yeah, I like this one. This one was good. Still more some more Zom. Longborn, yes. How Not to Unalive Yourself. I'm gonna say yes if you can read it without being triggered. I think it's a really raw and honest and important look at what it's like to have suicidal ideation and attempts and living like that. It's very well done. This was when I hit my romance my romance era, my romance season. I don't know, whatever. I started reading a lot of romance. So there's a lot of no's here. Moments of Violence. You know what? Okay, if you want a dark romance with like a hitman who's got like don't touch her energy or I'll kill you and actually does kill people, yeah, read this. It's fun. The second one's not as much fun, Moments of Badness, but the first one was fun. So no for the second one, yes for the first one. A Few Figs from the Thistles. I say yes, this is a fun collection of poems. Yes, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. No for Haunting Adeline. No for Hunting Adeline. And here we are back at the start. Let's go to December. We're almost done. Goddess of Filth. I think that this is a better read in substitution for Pinata that I had earlier in the year. This is a more adult book. It has very, very, very loosely similar things going on in it. If you want a horror that, or a darker book that plays with being sort of possessed by a god of like a Central American, Aztec, Mayan kind of culture, this is, I think, a better book than Pinata. Mostly because this is adult and a little bit more violent, and I liked the violence in this, and I still think that Pinata needed more violence. They're not the same cultures, which is why I'm trying to figure out how to word this to more broadly encapsulate things. But anyway, yes. Yes to Ripe. Yes to Manacled. These are out of order now for Manacled, but Jess Owens got me into Hermione, and yes, fanfic for the win. To Hunt a Demon King and To Break a Demon Curse. I love these. This is a trilogy. I finished the 3rd one in the beginning of January, and I really love this. This is a fun romantasy that is self-pub, I think, but Unplugged did a special romantasy box and made special editions, and it's just fun. I really enjoyed it. So yes, if you just want a fun series with a little bit of romance and some magic and some war and some smexy time, yes. I did fail at Infinite Jest this year, but we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. It's not fully off the table. maybe I just can't do Gravity's Rainbow and Infinite Jest in the same year. That was too much. The Fraud by Zadie Smith is my first Zadie Smith, and honestly, I'm gonna say no, because I feel like there's better Zadie Smiths out there, but it wasn't bad. That's not like me saying it was bad. Just no. Testament of Youth, I'm gonna say no if you're not British or very well versed in like the minutia of 20th century British politics, simply because the parts of this memoir that are about Vera Brittain and her existence in during World War I and nursing and things that I could relate to were really interesting. But there's so much like politics and like political figures and leaders and people, places, and things that I don't understand contextually because I am an American with very little understanding of 20th century England and its political landscape, that I feel like I was missing a connection. But yeah, that's my answer. Solenoid, I did DNF this because I soft DNF this. I may go back to it, but there was no way I was going to finish it last year, and I don't know when I might pick it up. So I also DNF'd, a hard DNF, Court of Nightmares, because after the thing with the spider, if you've read this book, you know, the spider leg, I just, I said, what am I doing with my life? And I sold it on Pango. We need to move on. Good Game by Madison Fox, who is a booktuber here on YouTube. It was fine, so no. Penance, yes. I forgot what I was doing. I forgot I was doing rapid fire. I was talking too much about other books. Penance, yes. Glutton, no. Though it is better than Many True Wishes, I'm going to say no. Sphinx, yes. I really did enjoy this. Iron Flame, no. Tentacle, no. The Lives of the Wives, yes, yes, and more yes. And then there's just more Manacled, and yes, 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 yes. I am parched. Okay, so that was everything I read in 2023. Rapid fire, yes and no. Should you read it? What a video. I can't wait to edit this. I think I've said enough. If you've made it this far, leave a comment down below. Just, I don't know, tell me something. Tell me something good that happened to you today if you've made it this far in the video. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Like sit here for 40 minutes and tell you every book I read. Bye. So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go come closer next to me, trying to find another one.